Welcome to the intro for this React stream. We're going to be watching some videos today. Most of these come from my React channel on Discord. And yeah, true crime, some not true crime. Depends on which one you clicked on. If you're watching this on YouTube, it means you missed the Twitch stream. That's okay. You can follow the Twitch and get to the next one. Or if you're following and watching on Twitch right now, you should be able to go sub to the YouTube channel right now. Let's do it. Let's watch another video called Attorney Takes the Stand in His Own Trial and It Does Not End Well by Audit the Court. We have not seen a video by this channel yet, but the title was interesting enough. And you know what? We don't watch nearly enough stuff about within the courtroom, so I'm curious if this channel goes over like courtroom specific things. I think that'll be a really fun addition to our sort of regular content, so let's watch.
In May of 2022, Las Vegas Review-Journal reporter Jeff German published the first in a series of articles regarding attorney and then Clark County Public Administrator Robert Tellis, including allegations of a hostile work environment in the administrator's office under his leadership. Following the articles, Mr. Tellis lost his re-election bid for public administrator in June of 2022. Several months later, in September of 2022, Mr. German was found stabbed to death outside his home. Surveillance footage showed a suspect wearing a bright orange long-sleeve shirt and wide-brimmed hat and driving a maroon GMC Yukon Denali, just like the one registered to Mr. Tellis. A few days after the murder, the Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department brought Mr. Tellis in for questioning and searched his house, collecting enough evidence to arrest him for Mr. German's murder. In addition to the evidence found in Mr. Tellis's home...
I gotta go back. Who is who?
In May of 2022, Las Vegas Review-Journal reporter Jeff German published the first in a series of articles regarding attorney and then Clark County Public Administrator Robert Tellis.
And I'm assuming, yeah, Clark County Public Administrator Robert Tellis talks to a reporter in Las Vegas. Okay, so I'm assuming that's Robert.
Including allegations of a hostile work environment in the administrator's office under his leadership. Following the articles, Mr. Tellis lost his re-election bid for public administrator in June of 2022. Died. Several months later, in September of 2022, Mr. German was found stabbed to death outside his home. Surveillance footage showed a suspect wearing a...
Okay, reporter made thing on attorney guy being bad. Attorney loses election months later. Journalist who made that piece died. And I'm assuming based off of this, obviously the attorney man did it.
Bright orange long sleeve shirt and wide brimmed hat and driving a maroon GMC Yukon Denali, just like the one registered to Mr. Tellis. A few days after the murder, the Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department brought Mr. Tellis in for questioning and searched his house.
I thought the guy in the photo died, and I was gonna feel bad, but this is clearly the suspect.
Love you, Sneeg. I used to watch you when I was 15. Now I'm 18. Crazy. Always loved your content. Red heart emoji. I'm very faded. I should have spent $20 on this.
Awesome. Don't show your age online. Be safe. Look at this fucking guy.
Administrator's office obtained criminal defense attorney 2020 indicted Mr. DNA for Mr. Tellis' murder. In addition to the evidence found in Mr. Tellis' home, his DNA was also found under Mr. German's fingernails. A grand jury indicted Mr. Tellis in the Clark County District Court for first-degree murder on October 20th, 2022, setting the stage for a highly publicized trial that began on August 12th, 2024. During this time, Mr. Tellis hired and fired 3 different attorneys, represented himself for a period of time, and and finally retained criminal defense attorney Robert Draskevich in February of 2024. Throughout the pendency of his case, Mr. Tellis maintained his innocence and chose to take the case to trial. During his jury trial, Mr. Tellis took the witness stand to tell his story directly to the jury. Rather than being questioned by his attorney, he spoke freely in a narrative style, which is an unusual but permissible decision. While on the stand, Mr. Tellis denied the murder allegations and suggested that Mr. Gehrman was killed by a professional hitman who was framing him for the murder. During his nearly 3-hour testimony, Mr. Tellis went on to include accusations of a broader conspiracy to frame him involving multiple state actors, such as the prosecutor, local police, and the forensics lab that processed the evidence in the case. Now, because Mr. Tellis chose to testify, the state was given the opportunity to cross-examine him after he shared his story. Prosecutor Christopher Hamner questioned Mr. Tellis, confronting him with the evidence against him and exploring his theory that he was framed for Mr. Gehrman's murder in further depth.
Time to see how this absolute criminal mastermind defends himself in court.
Talk about your house for a second. When they went over to your house, they took a look underneath your couch. Publishing 224. That's your couch, right?
That is my couch.
And underneath your couch is a shoe and a chopped up shoe, right?
Right.
Okay.
Chopped up shoe.
That's the gray Nike, correct?
Pure so, yes, sir.
Publishing 228. That's what it looks like, correct?
Yes, sir.
It's gray in color, correct?
So many pieces of
It is a
evidence.
Nike brand, correct?
Yes, sir.
It has a black swoosh, correct?
Yes, sir.
It has 4 horizontal or at least vertical bars in the middle of that shoe, correct?
Yes, sir.
All right. You would agree with me. That's the shoe that the killer was wearing, correct?
I don't know that that's the case.
You don't know? Well, it sure looks a heck of a lot like it, right?
Yes, it could be the same model, but it could be a different size.
Sure. Let's just look at it.
Masterful.
I don't disagree that it's the same model.
Right. It's the exact same type of shoe, right?
Right.
Okay.
So
We're not in dispute about it. We can agree on that, right?
Right.
It's
Yes,
got
sir.
your name on the
And your
side.
DNA is in those shoes that are found in your house, correct?
I don't know that to be the case.
Okay, but that's the whole thing of it's a setup and I think the DNA people are framing me. Something along those lines, right?
Whether it's them or someone else.
You've
sure.
heard the results. The results say that your DNA is in that shoe.
Right.
I mean, we
The
did hear
DNA
that,
people
correct?
are framing him.
That is what we heard.
Okay, and you just think it's just another part of the conspiracy to somehow get your
Well,
DNA into those shoes.
You know what? I see what he's saying. While he was asleep, the DNA people came into his home and slapped a piece of tape on his bald ass head and ripped it off to get some DNA to use against him. It's a classic.
So I believe
Tale
that
as
there are
old
officers
as
who,
time.
when they think that a fellow officer needs help plugging holes in the case, that they're willing to do what they have to.
Okay, all right. But before we move on, I gotta ask you this too. So,
Why would his lawyer let him sit here and do
Metro's
this?
really, so you think Metro's framing you for this?
As I said before, I think that we've got some officers who are overzealous and who've decided to help Jappy plug holes in his case,
Sure.
not knowing what his relationship was with Compass Realty.
Here's
I object,
Sir?
if you'd be allowed to answer the question before.
Okay.
Next question, please.
Sir, I got a question for you. If the Las Vegas Metropolitan Police
He
Department
has a lawyer.
wanted
No, he has a lawyer. He had to remove 2, represented himself for a bit, and stuck with the last one. They went over this. But his testimony, he gave himself instead of being questioned by his lawyer. This was the whole setup, guys. Did we listen? Instead of being examined by his lawyer, he gave like a soliloquy on the stand himself. And this is the prosecution cross-examining his self-examination, whatever that, it's not very typical.
to frame you. Why didn't they put the murder weapon in your house?
I think that maybe, I don't know. I mean, it's a good question. I mean,
Great question, because if the murder weapon that had Gehrman's DNA and was inside your house, wouldn't that be an even better case?
Yeah, but at the same time, I think
But it's not there, is it?
no.
No, it's not. Even though, according to you, they control everything, they don't put the murder weapon on you? Does that make any sense?
I think it does.
Okay. How about this? If Compass Realty wants to kill you, why don't they encourage Metro like, we'd really like you to put the murder weapon in there? Why didn't they do something like that?
I don't know.
That seems really odd that the most significant thing is not in your house, correct?
I think what's odd is that 5 days after the murder, that supposedly there was a shoe
So the answer
and
to my
also a
question-
hat in my house.
So the answer to my question, the most significant piece of evidence, the murder weapon, is not in your house, despite you.
Almost like the guy who did it was stupid and didn't get rid of all of the evidence that would tie him back to the murder. Not me though. I'm way smarter than that. It has to be a frame jab. It's got to be a frame jab. So am I free to go or what?
Your theory you've been framed.
That's correct, sir.
Let's talk about this. We've seen the picture of the killer. What's the most notable thing, by far the most notable thing on the killer's person?
It's either the hat or the shirt.
It's the shirt, right? And that shirt is not in your house, is it?
No.
If Metro or Compass or Rita or Cliff all wanted to frame you, why didn't they put the bright orange coat in your house?
I couldn't speak to that. All I can tell
Doesn't
you is,
that sound not very professional if they're trying to set you up?
I don't know, maybe for plausibility's sake, they put half the
Oh,
stuff
they
in
want to
there. I'm
dial
not
it
sure.
back.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay.
Here's
Here's another
low
thing.
key frame
Why
job.
don't they
Low key
cover your
frame
car
job.
in Gehrman's DNA?
Just
Why did they do that?
Because they didn't have access
like
to
a,
the
like
car
a
until the day that Mr. Mogg
25%
took
frame
photos.
job to make it a
They
little
control
convincing,
everything.
guys.
They take it to their CSI garage and they rub it full of DNA. Why is there no DNA of Gehrman in your car? And yet they want to frame you. Why isn't it there? Do you have an answer for that?
Sir, I don't know.
Okay. But one of the things that we do know is that prior to your arrest, you do in fact wash that car, correct?
The exterior only.
You still wash it, correct?
Oh, yes.
And your testimony to this jury was, after Rita told me about the
His 3-hour testimony, by the way, he spoke on the stand for 3 hours about his defense, apparently.
tweets about the car that I found so strikingly similar, I went out and washed my car. You told them that on direct. Isn't that correct?
No, sir.
I meant Roberta. After Roberta told you, gosh, that looks just like your car, and you read John R. Custer's tweet, you went out and that prompted you to start washing the Yukon.
No.
That's not your testimony.
No. I said that I washed all 3 vehicles.
Great. Including your Yukon.
Yes.
Right. Because you'd agree if you only wash one of them, that might look a little suspicious, right?
I don't know that I was planning things to be suspicious or not suspicious, sir.
Okay. But let's just be clear. You would agree with me, washing things can make evidence go away. Isn't that right?
I would think DNA evidence would be inside of a vehicle, not on the outside, sir.
Okay. Sir, you'd be surprised.
Okay.
But that's
well,
not the
I guess
point.
I guess I would be surprised then.
My question is this. Washing things can make evidence go away, correct?
Could it possibly? Yes.
Thank you.
Prosecutor Hamner challenges Mr. Tellis's theory that he was framed for the murder by questioning him about the logic behind his story. While cross-examining a witness, attorneys are not permitted to argue directly to the jury or express personal opinions about the evidence.
True.
Additionally, under Section 50.115 of the Nevada Revised Statutes, cross-examination is
channel's
generally
beautiful.
limited to the topics covered during direct examination,
Oh my
or in
God.
Mr. Tellis's case, his narrative testimony, and questions regarding the witness's credibility. Here, Mr. Hamner questions Mr. Tellis about his argument that he was framed for the murder in an apparent attempt to point out its infeasibility. For instance, Mr. Hamner asks why, if others had truly conspired to frame him,
That's because there's other segments of a trial in which they can argue that other stuff. So that's kind of why they try to keep a cross-examination on topic for people wondering when and or why they don't. They do, just not now.
they would not have gone further and planted the most incriminating evidence possible, such as the murder weapon or the bright orange shirt seen in the surveillance footage of the killer. In this line of questioning, Mr. Hamner's strategy appears to be to expose the internal inconsistencies in Mr. Tellis's direct testimony that he was framed for the murder by highlighting how illogical and unbelievable his version of events really is.
Let's continue down the path of what's in your phone. We're going to be publishing Exhibit 350.
Hey Google, what happens if I stab somebody 56 times?
If we could just cue over for a second to the
Surely
overhead.
it's not something like this.
This is this extraction report that has a lot of images regarding Google Maps in your phone. Do you remember hearing testimony about this?
No.
That's what I heard.
Okay.
Surely
And the date
his-
on this is August 12th of 2022. Isn't that correct? That's when these files appear. Isn't that right?
That's when it purports to have appeared.
Sir, you would agree with me. You don't actually have to go to Bronze Circle to get Google Maps to generate these images, correct? All you have to do is go to the website. Isn't that right?
For any location, sure, yes.
Sure. And this is
Not
what,
any location,
about
just the ones
2
provided.
to 3 weeks before Mr. Garman is killed?
If we can trust the date, yes.
All right.
He saved photos of the dude's house on his phone weeks ahead of time.
So, sir, let's. I'm opening the folder that says Bronze Circle. If we could cue
Urethra!
over, please. That's Jeff Garman's house, correct?
I have come to learn that it is his house.
That's a great point. You've come to learn that because prior to this all happening, you had never been over to the house.
I
Correct?
just happened to
You
look
have no
up his
reason
house.
to be over at that house, correct?
That is absolutely correct.
You don't even know where he lives because I'm sure Mr. Garman didn't give you his personal address.
That is absolutely correct.
And yet the weird thing is, when we go through these images, when we start getting to like the Google Maps data, like that's his house, right?
It looks like that is the house.
Yeah. Same thing, that's his house, right?
It appears to be.
Like if we look over here in the back, that's literally the very spot
What do you
where
have
Mr.
to gain
Garman
from saving this?
breathes his last breath. Isn't that right?
Objection to all speculation.
Sustained.
That's
Speculation.
the very last spot that we see Mr. Garman from that body cam, right? He's lying right over there.
What do you mean speculation,
It looks
brother?
like a similar
That's where
area.
he died.
Similar. It's the area,
There's no
isn't it?
speculation.
If you say so, sure.
So you don't believe that's the spot?
I mean, it looks like the house, so I would think.
How
I
about
don't think so.
there? Isn't that where Mr. Garman was found by the police?
And I would think likely so.
And the very spot that his body is lying is inside your phone.
That is very strange. I mean, how does someone plan to have a victim in a particular area at their home? That's again.
So you would agree with me that if you were planning to kill someone at their house, it might be a good idea to get a lay of the land, right?
It's crazy how that happens.
I've never plotted to kill anyone.
Well, I didn't say you. I'm just talking hypothetically. You would agree with me.
Oh, that's
that
going
if
to
you
get
were planning to
objected.
kill someone,
You can't say-
it might be a
no,
good
that's-
idea to
there's
get a
gonna be
lay
an
of the land,
objection.
I
correct?
object is a hypothetical question. He's not an expert, so.
Overruled, he can answer.
Let me ask you that question one more time.
Shocked it got overruled.
You'd agree
but
with me. If you're planning on killing someone, it's a good idea to get the lay of the land, right?
I don't know. I don't know what the circumstances are. I don't know what you're talking about as far as where you want to, do this deed or whatever.
Crazy to
Mr. Tellis,
overrule
if you
that
wanted-
objection, but
Let's do it. You don't want to answer the question. We'll do it another way.
Again, I object to characterization.
Sustained.
Mr. Tellis,
she
if you're
sustained
planning on
that one?
doing something, you want to prepare for it, correct?
It depends on what you're planning to do.
Okay. How about your
What's
work?
happening?
As a public administrator, did you prepare every day to go to work to be competent at what you're doing?
Yes.
Did you do that because it's important to do the job correctly?
Yes, sir.
And if the stakes are really big, you want to make sure you're super prepared?
Yes, sir.
Okay, there's over 100 images of Bronze Circle neighborhood in your house, correct? In your phone, isn't that right?
I don't know that they are, sir.
Okay, well then let's start clicking.
Plus, again, I wouldn't use my card. It's
It's not my question. My question is, This is contained in your phone, right, sir?
I don't believe so.
Okay, you don't believe so?
If it is in there, I didn't put it there, sir.
Okay. So the answer is it's there, but you didn't put it there, correct?
Again, I do not know that it's there, and I certainly did not put it there.
Must have been the
we're just-
phone goblin.
Okay, sir. You did.
You're asking
sir,
me
you
to
did hear-
testify
sir,
something
sir.
that I can't tell you is true.
Right. But you did hear the testimony of someone coming and
Yeah,
said,
I
I
don't
looked in
even-
his phone.
I don't even understand these pictures. Like, why has he got a picture of just the garage door, just so he doesn't forget? Yeah, maybe it's the porn virus from the police officer in the other case. Yeah, maybe it's the same. Maybe it's the same phone goblin. Yeah, maybe it's the same. You know, there's a crisis happening. The phone goblin's framing everyone.
And that stuff is there, correct?
That's
He's
what they
so
said.
fucking
It's the
nefarious.
same phone that your
Unreal.
expert looked at, correct? To extract Celebrite data from, right? It's the exact same phone,
Oh,
correct?
and I'm sure he totally didn't find
sure.
that.
Did you ever hear Mr. Aguero ever say that your phone was compromised in any way? Did you ever hear that from him?
We never asked him that question.
Okay, but he didn't say it, did he?
The question was never asked.
Right. He looked at your data, he prepared a report, and alerted no one to any problems with your phone, correct?
I don't know.
But
Yeah,
addition,
that's what I would object to. He was not called upon to review the phone. He reviewed the Celebrite extraction from the phone, so I object to this line of question.
The objection is sustained.
we can move on. You heard from Matt Hovanek from the DFL department. He testified that there weren't any issues with this phone, correct? When he looked at data that came from it, correct?
He said that, I guess they try not to modify contents of things, but he didn't say that it was impossible.
Okay. Here, well, we can do this too. You got up on direct examination and you went through message by message by message, and you didn't complain about any of the messages that were on September 2nd, correct?
I
I
dispute.
object as to complaint.
I mean, rephrase the question.
Sure. You offered testimony to this jury about the timeline, correct?
Yes.
You went text by text and phone call by phone call, and you explained things, right?
Right.
At no point did you say, oh, there's a problem here, correct?
Correct.
You had no problem with that information, did you?
Right.
Okay. Sir, do you find it a little bit strange that when you find information that's helpful for you in your phone, you don't think there's a problem with it, but when there's damaging evidence in your phone, you believe maybe it's been hacked or compromised?
I do think that if someone was trying to frame me, that obviously they would leave the content that I made on the phone as well as whatever they decided to put on there. Yes.
And as we see here, like there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 different houses are being photographed, correct?
If that is truly what was on my phone, then supposedly sure.
Okay. Here's a good example. In this image, there's a security camera being focused on in the image, correct?
That's what it appears to be, which brings up a question that I would have.
There's no question pending, and you're going to get a chance on redirect. You'll be able to say whatever you need to
Yeah,
say.
you don't get a question, bud.
Let's be clear. There's an image that isolates on a security camera for the next door neighbor, Mr. Garriman.
Oh, he's writing his
It's right
question
there,
now.
isn't
Let's
it?
go.
Yeah, it is. There's one right there.
And here was something I remember you told me about. When you started out, what was your first job again?
IT.
IT. You've got a technical background, correct?
Right.
I believe even on direct examination, you described yourself as a techie, correct?
Absolutely, yes.
So you know your way around a computer, right?
Right.
Fair to say you know your way around different software, correct?
Right.
Fair to say you know your way around a cell phone, right?
Right.
You certainly know how to use Google Maps, right?
I think a lot of people do.
Right. Anyone could use that, correct?
Right.
And you would consider yourself a fairly thorough person in your work as a
used it a
public
lot.
administrator, right?
More thorough than to do something like this? Sure.
You consider yourself detail-oriented?
I do.
Okay. Can we cue over for 1 second to the overhead?
Yeah.
There's over 132 images in your phone focusing on that. Would you say that's a lot of detail?
If that was on my phone, I guess I would say yes.
Okay. And then let's talk about the Popeyes thing, publishing 364. Do you remember these images?
Yes.
Okay.
I remember them being presented as being allegedly on my phone.
Right. The testimony was it was on your phone. You just don't believe you had anything to do with it, correct?
Frame job.
Again, I don't know that they were ever on my phone. I know that I did not take those photos.
Okay, so you're just denying what you heard.
I am saying that whatever the testimony is, that it could have been placed on my phone, or who knows.
The testimony was it was found on your phone, correct?
It was allegedly found on an image of my phone.
Prosecutor Hamner questions Mr. Tellis about a series of photographs of Mr. Gehrman's home that were found on his phone. And, continuing with his theory that he was framed, Mr. Tellis states that he did not put the photos on his phone. This line of questioning goes directly to the legal elements of first-degree murder, which, under Section 200.030 of the Nevada Revised Statutes, requires proof that the killing was willful, deliberate, and premeditated. By presenting the photographs of Mr. Gehrman's home found on Mr. Tellis's phone, Mr. Hamner seems to be seeking to establish that the defendant engaged in conduct consistent with planning and surveillance, which would demonstrate forethought rather than impulse. The presence of these images on Mr. Tellis's personal device suggests that he not only knew where Mr. Gehrman lived, but had taken steps to observe him in advance of the crime and plan the murder. When confronted with this evidence, Mr. Tellis maintains his claim that he was framed and denies having placed the photos on his phone. Well, rather than disputing him directly, Mr. Hamner allows the inconsistencies in that explanation to speak for themselves, relying on the evidence to illustrate the implausibility of the defense and to reinforce the state's theory of premeditation under Nevada law.
If we could cue over to the overhead, or the computer. You talked about being detailed-oriented. You would agree this is numerous images from the same spot, correct?
It appears so.
And if we kind of look, and I just can't see because of the monitor. I mean, we're looking at, that's a sedan, correct?
Yes.
Sedan, correct? Well, it's like a minivan, but it's gray
It's
in
like
color,
a crossover.
right? And that's gray in color, right?
Sure.
And that's a truck. It's kind of a whitish gray, right?
Mm-hmm.
Another gray car, correct?
Sure.
Another gray sedan, correct?
Mm-hmm.
This one's a Honda, right?
Sure.
We know our
Or
colors.
maybe that's not a Honda. I don't want to misspeak. That might be a Kia.
It looks like a Honda,
That's a Honda.
Is it? Okay, it's a Honda
I think, or unless it's a Hyundai.
or a Hyundai. I'm not
know.
sure. It kind of looks like an H.
We should figure
We've
this
got
one
an
out.
SUV
Yes,
here, but there's
this
a
was
lot of
big deal.
images here, correct?
Yes.
Okay, and according to this report, if we could
Bird!
go over, got 101, correct?
That's what it alleges.
That's fairly.
That's what it alleges.
That's a lot of
right
photos.
What do you mean?
Correct?
It would be.
It looks like surveillance, doesn't it?
It looks like a stupid way to do surveillance.
Right, looks kind of amateurish, doesn't it?
Right.
Yeah, you have to be a real
Not
fucking
professional.
idiot.
Right. I wouldn't see how that makes sense.
And then, sir, another thing located in your phone were these. Can we cue over to the overhead? Sir, what are we looking at here?
It looks like it's a identification of a vehicle that is owned by Mr. Gurman.
It's a Honda, right?
Yes, sir.
And we know from the photographs earlier, his Honda is gray, correct? We saw from the photos. right?
I don't remember. I wasn't paying attention to the color with the earlier testimony.
You
Sorry.
have no reason to dispute me if I told you that the color of the car was gray.
Can you
correct?
find the
I
gray
don't.
Honda?
And we saw in those images, lots of gray cars were getting snapped, correct?
Yeah, I saw
So
a black one and a
weird.
white one, but yes.
So
And
weird.
You know what that program that's pulling up that information is, don't you, Mr.
That I do, yes.
That's IDI Core, correct?
Right.
That is proprietary software that is in fact used by the Public Administration's Office, correct?
Yes, sir, it is.
It gives the person at the Public Administration's Office the ability to look up personally identifying information about people,
Oh,
correct?
bro.
Yes.
Okay, and we can see here that
You're so
Jeffrey Garrett is
stupid.
being looked up on IDI Core, correct?
What I remember correctly looking at this was it was looked up by address.
Well, that's just one report, sir. Let's look at this result. We can see
What's
he's
the
connected.
what's the search term?
There's no question pending, sir.
Okay.
Take a look at registrants. What's the registrant?
Again, it's Jeffrey M. Gurman.
Right. And if we look down, what's the first address associated with this?
P.O. Box.
Okay. And then when you go to the next entry, what's the address associated with Mr. Garrett?
7216, it's the second one related to Mr. Gurman. There's a first one related to Mr. Gurman. That's the P.O. Box, which is current. The second one is 7216 Bronze Circle, Las Vegas, Nevada, 89. I can't read this.
Mr. Tellis, that's where Mr. Garrett lived, correct?
Yes, sir.
That's where he was murdered, correct?
Yes, sir.
And this image of his personal information and his home address is located inside your phone.
Again, I don't know that it is.
Okay, so we're just, again, we don't have to do the dance, but you're just not accepting the testimony that it was located on your phone.
That is correct.
Okay, all right. But you'd agree with me that from just that bottom there, that looks like a desktop monitor, a Dell desktop monitor, correct?
Correct.
And again, this has more information about Mr. Garrett's cars, correct?
Yes, sir.
This is IDI Core, correct?
Right.
Software that is in your office, correct?
The office that Mr. Jappy visited, yes.
Okay. This is more IDI Core images, correct?
Appears so, yes, sir.
Let me just come out and ask you. This is your desk, isn't it?
It probably is.
Yeah. Let me ask you this. During your official duties as the public administrator, you didn't have like a case with Mr. Garrett at all, right?
No, sir, I didn't. And what was the search term to find that?
Well, one of the search terms was 7216 Bronze Circle, correct?
Can you show that to me?
Sure. 7216 Bronze. We can cue over to the overhead. Can everybody see that? So you can see that, right?
Yes, sir, I can.
And the date, the created time is 8/23/2022 at 6:05 p.m., correct?
Yes,
Wow.
That's what it reports to be.
Okay. And that was a weekday, wasn't it?
I'm sure it was, because, you know. I don't know.
And there's one more thing. This wasn't converted into UTC time. So if we subtract 7 hours, that's at 11:05 a.m. in the morning on 8/23, correct?
And again, I don't know if this document's been modified by a PDF viewer or not, but
Do you
it purports to
recall-
be of that day.
You recall the testimony, well, no, you recall the testimony of Matt Havanich, which said this was not converted, and when you convert it, this
A frame
search
job.
was conducted at 11 o'clock in the morning.
The frame job, the PDF
You
goblin,
recall him saying, I'm not asking if you agree with it, you recall it being
the
said.
Adobe
I know that I didn't do
Photoshop
the search,
wizard.
so I couldn't tell you definitively.
So I'd like you to focus on my question. Do you recall Mr. Havanich saying that here in court?
That's what he said.
Okay. And just to be clear, publishing 351, there it is. That's a weekday. That's a Tuesday, correct? And 351, there it is. That's
was that him or the table?
And just to be clear, publishing 351, there it is. That's a weekday.
That's gotta have been the table, bro.
Just to be clear, publishing 351, there it is. That's a weekday. That's a Tuesday, correct?
I think that was the table,
yes,
bro.
Did you typically have random people coming into your office using your desktop software?
Again, that could have been modified in a number of ways.
So,
In a
sir,
number of ways, sir.
That's not my
Like?
question. My question is, as the public administrator, did you allow people to go into your office in the middle of the day and
it had to have been the
manipulate
phone
and
goblin.
use your computer?
I didn't allow it, but that's not to say that it didn't happen, sir.
So the answer is, you had an edict that said you're not allowed to do this, correct?
But if I wasn't around or whatever, I don't know.
I mean, you would hope as the head of the department, they would have at least not used your computer, right?
Frame job.
I would have hoped, but you'd be surprised what happened in that office.
Okay. Right, because of the conspiracy?
You'd be surprised the type
Prosecutor
of shit we
Hamner
did.
questions Mr. Tellis about another set of photos recovered from his phone. The images show a computer screen on Mr.
twisted
Tellis's
stuff in that
desk
office, I'll tell
displaying the proprietary software used by the public administrator's office to access personal information about county residents. Among those photos were screenshots showing details about Mr. Gehrman, including information about his vehicle. Mr. Hamner points out that the search term used to find that information was 7216 Bronze, which partially matches Mr. Gehrman's home address, and that the search was conducted at around 11 a.m. on a weekday. Even when confronted with this evidence, Mr. Tellis maintains that he was not the one who ran the search. Following this exchange, Mr. Hamner continued his cross-examination, and the trial proceeded from there. At the end of his trial, Mr. Tellis was found guilty of first-degree murder with a deadly weapon on August 28, 2024. The jury sentenced him to life in prison with the possibility of parole after 20 years. But because of the sentencing so-called enhancements involved in the case, one because Mr. Gehrman was older than 60, one for the use of a deadly weapon, and another for quote-unquote lying in wait, Judge Michelle Levitt exercised her authority to extend Mr. Tellis's minimum sentence by 8 years, which was the maximum amount of time that she was permitted to add. This means that Mr. Tellis will not be eligible for parole for a total of 28 years. Mr. Tellis continues to maintain his innocence, and on August 26, 2025, he filed an appeal asking the Nevada Supreme Court to overturn his conviction. As of the date of writing this episode, the appeal is still pending. This trial illustrates the potential hazards that arise when a criminal defendant chooses to testify in their own case. Although the Supreme Court has established that every criminal defendant has the constitutional right to take the stand, doing so opens the door to cross-examination by the prosecution, which can significantly shape how the jury views their credibility. In this case, Prosecutor Hamner's cross-examination.
Everybody who gets up on the stand is given or has the potentiality of being cross-examined by the opposing party. Guaranteed.
Examination shows how an experienced attorney can cast doubt on a witness's story with questions designed to highlight an inconsistency in their statements and potential conflicts with the physical evidence presented at trial. For many defendants, the choice to testify involves weighing the natural desire to explain their perspective against the risks of exposing themselves to rigorous questioning. Defense attorneys often approach this issue cautiously and aware that even confident testimony can be weakened under skilled cross-examination. The questioning that we reviewed today demonstrates how these risks play out in practice and serves as a reminder that while the right to testify is fundamental, exercising it can carry significant strategic consequences in a criminal case. Let us know if there's a case or courtroom interaction that you'd like us to cover in the comments below. Thank you for watching.
Cool channel. I'm subbing. I have to see more courtroom antics. That's very good. That's crack.